What's up, y'all? This is Chitty Bang, and I'm on the Renegade Millionaire Show, the podcast that profiles entrepreneurs, founders, and CEOs. Join us as we go one-on-one inside the hearts and minds of some of our generation's best and brightest. And now, introducing your host, my friend, Sun Group Wealth Partners Managing Director, CNBC and Forbes.com contributor, Winnie Sun.
Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Renegade Millionaire Show. It's your host, Winnie Sun, coming to you here from beautiful Southern California. We are in TuneIn Studios here in Venice Beach. I'm excited to speak with you. As you know, I am Managing Director and Financial Advisor at Sun Group Wealth Partners, and here we take care of people like yourself. So if you have any questions regarding your own financial business planning needs, all you need to do is reach out. Really interesting factoid that I learned from my team. Did you know that with this improving economy, that restaurant industry sales are expected to hit a record high of $709 billion in 2015? So, and that actually is really cool because it's actually the sixth consecutive year of restaurant sales growth. Woohoo! And with that, you know I love chefs. And you know I'm a big fan of Bravo TV's Top Chef. Don't have much time to watch TV, but that is one show that we record on DVR that I do not miss. I think it's almost like a guilty pleasure because you want to see who's going to take it all. But this is somebody that I've known through another good friend of mine. I feel like we have similar lives and we've lived parallelly without having to meet just yet. And with that, I'd love to introduce you to Chef Brian Huskey. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Winnie. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for making the trek over.
No, absolutely. It wasn't too bad. You know, nice little Uber ride from downtown Los Angeles.
Oh, I love it there. There's some good food in downtown.
No,
right?
it's fantastic. I've actually been living down in the whole historic core for the last 3 years, and it's changed quite a bit. And it's awesome. Me personally, I love the whole urbanized living factor of downtown.
I know it's really improved, right? In the last 10 years, it's become so modern, hip.
No, absolutely. It's definitely become hip. There's definitely a lot of places to eat. I remember when I first would hang out there about even 5-6 years ago. Some of my friends started to move in there. There would be no brunch options on Saturday and Sunday, and now there's a bounty full of brunch options. So it's a good thing.
Your favorite restaurant in downtown?
My favorite restaurant in downtown would probably be Bestia. I've gone there a couple times. I just really respect Chef Ori and what he does. Another one that I tend to go to a lot for breakfast, actually, because we're talking about brunches, is Nickel and Diner.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, it's a good time.
What do you eat there?
I change it up. You know, I'm a man of, I change it up. I don't normally always get the same thing, but you always got to have either a mimosa or Bloody Mary, right, on a Saturday and a Sunday.
For sure. Keeps it real. Well, wonderful. I wanted to read through some of your bio because there's so much that I was really excited to learn. So, Brian, obviously, Brian Huskey, we're going to talk about that, is a Korean-American born, raised in Pasadena here right in Southern California. So you're the oldest son of a really well-known real estate mogul that we're going to talk about in the Korean community. I didn't know that. Really fascinating. And then, so let's talk about education too. And you're not just a chef. You're actually kind of a brain too. You graduated from UCLA, majored in economics. First job there was a short order cook. Yes. Well, that makes sense. And then he secured an internship at Merrill Lynch, and he decided to follow his passion. He saw the light and moved to San Francisco to get his full formal culinary education at CCA. Not a bad place to get a culinary education, right?
Not at all. I just thought, while I was going to UCLA, my parents made me learn the value of a dollar and told me, all right, well, I was very blessed. They took care of my tuition and a lot of my expenses. However, when it came to, if you want to go, woo ladies and go on dates and go rage with your homies, you need to go grab a job and, pay for that on your own. So naturally, I just kind of chose cooking instead of doing retail or some other type of job that normal college kids do. My first job was over at Dupar's over at the Grove. So
No, sir.
Yeah.
At Dupar's?
Yeah, just
With Biff Naylor?
Yeah, just cooking some burgers
We're
and
like
stuff.
friends.
Really, right on. Yeah, this is like when I was about 18 years old.
That's so awesome.
So, we started like that, and it's been a fun ride ever since. It's been interesting because literally, just like a lot of other chefs, you start cooking with your mother, and that was my way to bond with my mom. It was my mom-son time. And it was something that I felt really comfortable doing with my mom. And then, like I said...
What's the first dish she ever made you?
The first
or
dish,
she taught you?
Well, the first dish I remember ever making with my mom was doing like bone broth, like the fundamentals of a lot of Korean jjigae, which is like stews and stuff. So it's just like a lot of veal bones, and obviously that's kind of a simple technique and things like that. So it kind of made sense why my mom kind of showed me the broths and stocks, because if you have a great stock, you're gonna hopefully have a great end product.
So let me ask you this. I'm just curious. So when you make this stock, right, and you put the bones in, the water and everything, that stuff that floats on top, are you supposed to take it out? You're supposed to leave it in?
No, you want to skim it. Usually when I do like veal bones, I'll actually like blanch the veal bones like one time. Like I'll bring it to a boil, so it purges, and then I'll actually dump that water out and then start all over again. And then when you bring it back to a boil and then you simmer it, all the gunk that comes up to the top, you actually want to skim as you go.
Oh, so you cook it once and you dump that water.
Well, yeah, usually what I do is say, like, if you have like 10 pounds of bones in your, and you want to start a stock, what I'll do is I'll actually just bring it to a boil for about maybe 5-10 minutes, and that helps get a lot of that nasty impurities out of, like, the bones, like, extra, like,
sanitation reasons.
Yeah, exactly. And then just flush that water out, and then add clean water, add some mirepoix or aromatics or whatever, and then start the process over again.
Wow, impressive.
Yeah, it's it's like I said, I always tell people that being a chef, we're not magicians. So, things take time. It's kind of fascinating when, guests come to the restaurant, you come in for either an hour to sometimes 4 hours, but they don't see that, that whole process of what it takes for the whole entire team in the back of the house and as well as in the front of the house to create that experience that the guests have.
Right.
It sometimes it takes a few days, if it's something where you got to cure and then confit, or if it's, doing an awesome charcuterie program, that takes months. So, that satisfaction that, a guest can have for, 30 seconds to, 2 minutes or however long it takes to, enjoy that dish, can potentially sometimes for an entire team take a full week or months to prepare.
It's truly an art.
Yeah, it's definitely a craft,
Yeah, for sure. So you worked at LA Prime Steakhouse as an executive chef, as well as many other restaurants. Can you talk about maybe your favorite place to work?
You know what? To be very honest, I really enjoyed working with the Patina Group. Obviously, that when I came back to LA after I'd worked in the Caribbeans, I worked for the Rosewood Resorts at Conneaut Bay at Rockefeller Estate a while back. I personally just enjoy chasing the sun, so that's why I, went down to the Caribbeans, to do the whole lifestyle of swimming with sea turtles by day and then cooking at night.
That's so cool. Did you really swim with sea turtles?
Yeah. Like, not, I wouldn't say every single day, but it was known to happen. When you just go hang out on the beach and just kill some time before your dinner shift. But when I came back, I was very fortunate to get a job at Cafe Pinot, just as a lead line cook. And I actually grew with the company for about a little more than 3 years. I got my first sous chef title there at Cafe Pinot, and then I was actually transferred down to Leatherby's Cafe Rouge.
In Orange County.
Yeah, in Orange County at the Segerstrom Auditorium to open that up as an opening sous chef with Mark Gold. And it was a really, it was an awesome time because at that time it was when Irene still was given her stars, and we were able to cook our way up to receiving 3 stars. So we were very proud of that at that time. And then from there, it's kind of the whole theory of when do you leave, kind of the comfort zone. I'd been with a restaurant group for about 3 years now, and I had the opportunity to become the chef de cuisine at LA Prime at the Westin Bonaventure. So that's when I decided to move back up to LA, and that was a whole nother learning experience on its own because it was my first time managing a union team, I really respect unions and all, but it was definitely very difficult. I'll be honest, especially coming from a chef where, when you're trying to be creative and it's a trade that's very artistic. I like to consider us cooks and chefs as artistic construction workers is, I think, the best way to put it, because there's definitely artistic elements just like in any other medium. However, in our medium, we've got that laborious, we've got to stand for 16 hours a day. We're in intensive heat. We've got to lug heavy things up and down stairs or whatever it may be. So that's why I always tell people it's not glamorous, but in the day, if you really enjoy it, it's always fun, no matter how unglamorous it may be,
Yeah. And so that led to you being on Top Chef. And out of thousands of chefs, you were picked as one of the 19, right?
Yeah, it's wild. It still tickles me to this day to really kind of reflect on it. I feel like it's been a little bit, 2 years now, but at the end of the day, that was, to be a part of that fraternity is awesome. I'm very blessed. It definitely, I don't know if you guys all play video games, but, I've been known to play a few myself. But it's kind of, I guess my metaphor is it's sort of like the nitro button or that special weapons button when you're playing Mortal Kombat, where it all of a sudden just takes you to the next level, Yes, it didn't change my life, but it definitely took me to another level where it
was like Mario Brothers when you come out of the mushroom.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Do, 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 do.
That's right. I love it. It's so true, though. But you were so. When I watched you on the show, I loved watching you. You were laid back. You were the chill, happy guy, and you were just really bad. But you were a nice guy.
Oh, well, I really appreciate that. At the end of the day, I like to believe. For me, being a chef, food is definitely 80% of my life, 90% of my life, because it really, there's a lot going on. I enjoy it. It's what I breathe and live. However, I like to believe that 20 to 10% that's not being a chef and a student of my trade is still relevant enough that, say, hypothetically, if my skill sets were taken away, I could definitely survive in this crazy world just being off of just a great human being and, and just being true to myself.
And you're a real smart guy. I would call you, I would call you Brainy Chef.
Oh, well, a Brady Chef, yes. What's so funny is my brother just took the LSATs and I was trying to look at some of the things. And I was like, you know what? I don't even know if I could handle any of this crazy going to grad school.
You could.
But just because I respect all that stuff. My brain's been so wrapped around food that I don't know if I could do the whole grad school. But it'd be one thing. It'd be fun. Maybe I'll go get a degree in nutrition one day. Who knows?
That'd be awesome.
And pair it up with my culinary skills.
Well, you guys have mad skills. I'm excited. Let's talk about real quick. So you and Chris, friends.
Yeah, we're great friends. Actually, I consider him my hyung, which in Korean is older brother. It's a form of respect. He is a year or two older than me. At the same time, he's shown me a lot of the whole Korean American community here in Los Angeles. Surprisingly enough, he's from San Francisco, but he's got a strong
following.
Yeah, he's got
TV.
A great following. Soul Sausage is a fun, fantastic brand that he's been able to build with his partners, Ted and Young. So, when we had some downtime about a year ago, we were trying to put together a concept called 2KG, Two Korean Guys, and kind of do a, Korean street market type concept. Unfortunately, it's on hold right now just because I'm real busy about to launch my concept called Tackle Box in Corona Del Mar.
Which we're definitely going to talk about.
Yeah, and I know Chris as well. He's been doing a lot of TV stuff, and he's actually, I believe, opening a gastropub up in Hollywood. I don't know if I was supposed to say all that, but he's got a lot of stuff in the works as well.
Stuff going on. He's going to be in Hollywood, so we're excited to support him there too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let me ask you this. So you had some pretty nice success through this time. So let me ask you, what did you do when you first made your real check? Did you buy yourself anything special?
When I got my first real check, no, I think I took it straight to the bank, and I was like, whoa, this is the coolest thing ever to have money in the bank.
When was this?
This was probably when I was 11 years old or so, because I got my first bank account pretty young, and it was then what I would do is just do dishes, and that's kind of how one of my chores that I get like a couple dollars here and there. And obviously, we grew up with a lot of dogs. My dad was a big Rottweiler fan, so we had like 3 or 4 Rottweilers all the time around the house.
Really?
Yeah, and I personally love dogs myself. I rescued a pit bull about 3 years ago, and I'm a huge dog lover. I think animals are fantastic. I don't know if you knew this, but I when I was younger, I wanted to be a veterinarian.
Really?
Yeah. I would actually do a bunch of community service at the Pasadena Humane Society all the time.
So maybe you should like make food for dogs.
You know what? That's something I've been thinking about. Because there's definitely out in OC,
Everybody has a dog.
Everyone has a dog.
Everybody loves dogs.
And nowadays, dogs sometimes have better lives than human beings.
They're all eating. Did you see Whole Foods got organic food going on now?
Right?
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
awesome. Well, let's talk about that. I mean, so this new project I'm so excited about, because those of you who have heard me on the show, I live in Orange County for a lot of reasons, mostly because I have a family and I got my
Right.
kids. But, until some new blood is going to come around, food in Orange County was really just like, because I had moved over from LA, and LA had all this incredible food, and it had different true artisan chefs, and it was all about, there were mom and pop places where everything was about love and soul on a plate. But moving to Orange County, I mean, no offense to Orange County, but when it first got there, it was a lot of
like chains,
like a
corporate
lot of chains,
yeah.
exactly. Everything kind of looked the same and tasted the same, and I mean, everything was like a salad, and everything was the same pasta. But recently, Orange County food's gotten pretty darn exciting, and with you coming along, I've been following you on Facebook.
Oh, well.
I'm
yeah.
like mad that you didn't bring food today.
I know, that's shame on me. You know what? Actually, how about this? The first meal's on me when you show up to Tackle Box.
Yeah, and then and definitely everybody should join me. But let's talk about that, because I know that this past weekend I couldn't go because we have family and friends in town, but you opened up your pop-up for 2 days. Let's talk about what you're serving. What are you serving?
Yeah, so the concept is called Tackle Box Local Grub Shack. So the whole inspiration, it's in every country you go, there's if there is a beach, it doesn't matter if you're in Asia or in Brazil or America. Mm-hmm. By the beach, there's always some type of food shack or some type of place of a lady or a gentleman cooking something from the ocean or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. So, I was very blessed to have this opportunity to open up Tackle Box, which is my interpretation of all that. It's basically community through food. And the idea is it's all about real, honest, simple flavor profiles, just flavor bombs that make sense when you're sitting there on beautiful Corona del Mar eating the food. I won't be doing like farm to table stuff because that concept does not make sense when your feet are like just, your toes are in between the sands. But it's going to be fun, great stuff like New England inspired clam chowders to like shrimp rolls.
Let me just interrupt you for just a second, but I apologize for this. But I got to tell you, the response I've been reading on Facebook about your clam chowder, I see post after post after post. I'm like, Brian's from LA, but he's making some killer Boston-inspired New England clam chowder, yeah?
Yeah, well, I've been fortunate enough to, travel out to Boston and see some friends. My good buddy, he's the chef of Neptune's over in Boston, John Ross. So I've actually called him a couple times to get little insider tips on how to make it. I'm not trying to be as authentic to New England or Connecticut or some of those East Coast, cities. But end of the day, what I'm trying to do is give food that's relatable, people that know about it, and then just give it my chef's touch to it. For instance, I plan on doing a fantastic fish and chips, but instead of a traditional tartar sauce, it'll be traditional, except I'll add some yuzu juice to give it some floral citrus notes. I'm gonna do some renditions off of, instead of doing buffalo chicken wings, do some buffalo cauliflower, which, I'm not really, in reinventing the wheel, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to deliver, my goal is to deliver a better product than the next guy and have something that, the whole community can be behind and just keep it very consistent, I think consistency is, the key to success, at the end of the day. Yeah, passion gets you to the gates, but it's consistency that gets you through the race.
So let's talk about this shrimp roll. Cook for us and explain to us how this is.
Okay, so the shrimp roll, I've been R&Ding it. They're just some amazing shrimps that I actually poach in court bouillon, which is a combination of, water, some mirepoix vegetables, white wine. I actually use a lot of Old Bay. And then I actually make a Old Bay aioli, which is I actually use some Japanese mayonnaise, kuipi, and then some lemon zest, lemon juice, Old Bay, and then some secret ingredients in there. But so basically, what it is, it's like a cold shrimp salad that I also toss in some fresh celery, and then I've got a nice white like a panda me hot dog roll that I've been putting together, and that's toasted on both sides or all four sides with clarified butter, and then I slit it down the middle, stuff it with a bunch of this beautiful shrimp Old Bay aioli goodness, and then garnish it with like a chiffonade of romaine. Chiffonade is just thin slices of romaine. That romaine will give it that freshness, that little water crisp flavor,
that crunchy.
that crunchy, because I'm all about textures and well seasoned food at the end of the day.
And Ryan is actually hand cooking for us. He's actually cooking while he's talking here. So I'm getting really excited because I'm thinking, okay, it's way too long for lunch. But so when can everybody try your amazing food?
So Tackle Box, it's Tackle Box. It's in Corona del Mar Beach, right underneath the main headquarter lifeguard tower there. I believe it's 3029 East Shore Avenue.
What's the website?
The website's www.tackleboxoc.com.
Cool.
And the grand opening will be July 9th. I believe it's a Friday. I will be doing pop-ups every weekend following up to that date. So this upcoming Friday, Saturday, or actually because Sunday is Father's Day, I'm taking it off to hang out with my dad. But this Friday, Saturday will be open with a limited menu. The menu this week is going to be kind of like a po' boy, a fried fish po' boy, the clam chowder garnished with chicharron, my version of elote street corn. I'll also be doing a linguiça roll, and then I believe one other one, but you'll have to find out and show up, I guess.
Show up, and it will sell out. He doesn't have unlimited supply, so once it's out, it's gone, right?
Yeah, well, the whole pop-up is to get my kitchen team, get the engine going. So it is a limited menu. It's a little limited quantities.
When you're at the beach, it works.
Yeah,
you
it works.
You don't expect to go to the beach and have like a Cheesecake Factory menu. You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
You want good food and get back to the water and play in the sand, right?
You're absolutely right. And that's the whole idea of Tackle Box is to really give the community some fuel to do their beach activities and live that hashtag beach life that everyone loves down in OC.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Super excited. Well, with that, thank you so much for being on the show. I don't know about you, but I want you to come back again so we can do this again.
No, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Winnie. I'd love to be a part of this again. I just love hanging out with you. You're fantastic.
I know, we're like family now. Thank you so much. Well, with that, I'm going to say a huge thank you to Brian Huskey, Top Chef Brian Huskey, for being on the show on the Renegade Millionaire. This is Winnie Sun, as you know. Those of you who want to follow me, but before we get to that, let's ask most importantly, Brian, how can people follow you?
People can follow me on all the social media. My handle is at Brian Huskey, or you can also follow my new concept, which is about to open early July, which is at Tacklebox OC.
And that he's on Facebook, he's on Twitter, he's on Instagram and all that. And really, I think you really, really want to follow him on Instagram because can you imagine the pictures?
Food porn.
Oh, yum, 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 yum. But this is Winnie Sun, and you can follow me at website is winniesun.com. And please follow me on Twitter. I tweet a lot. And that's at SunGroupWP. And with that, we are out. Thanks again. Until next time.
Peace out.